So hello and welcome to the channel, welcome to another video, and we're here looking at LMU once again. Loads to look at in this video. First off, I wanted to kick off a few things. I was having problems. I've recently started using Coach Dave Delta, which is fantastic, but every time I was bringing it up I was getting problems with the vision. So just adjusting this anti-aliasing a.k.a, making sure that is off. If you have problems looking at certain apps when you're using like a really high quality 4K screen or something like that, you might find that you open apps. I had problems with ChatGPT opening up and the text was all smudgy, and it was the same with Coach Dave, but just making that small alteration in the NVIDIA software solved that problem entirely. As you can see, I do love generating some images with ChatGPT and
breaker, got a copy.
AI generating tools
radio check.
within cars. It's all good, isn't it? But these are the steps that I go through when I'm starting a game or a setup. I've only used the Coach Dave Delta for the last couple of days now, and I am loving it. I'm going to cover the Coach Dave app at a later date in another video, but I've just been, obviously you can see, I've just been running at Sebring. I've never driven Sebring since returning home last week, just trying to get to grips with setting some fast laps. Obviously you can see the fastest lap there was a 2:02.7, and normally this does work. This is the first time I've ever come to use the Coach Dave Delta app, where all the names in the right hand side column are anonymous. Normally it tells you exactly who is who, and I know third place driver is Luke Whitehead, who is a fantastic driver. I really do rate him altogether. So when I'm judging my lap time, I'm always using his lap time as a representation. And you can search for the drivers. I'll cover it in another video. This is totally different. I just wanted to do a video about traction control and ABS settings. Something that I've found definitely through using the Coach Dave app, to be able to see how other drivers, especially pro drivers, are driving the circuit, where they're braking. Obviously you can see this is my throttle trace against, I forget who else's data I'm looking at here, who the reference lap time we've just dragged in. It might actually be Luke's lap time, but you can see where he's accelerating, where I'm accelerating, where he's braking, where he's changing gear, how much steering angle he's got on. That was one thing that was really killing my lap time. For some reason I was reducing the steering ratio, and it was just adding too much steering into the car. And you could see with these little wheels on either side of the screen, I was putting so much more turning rotation into the wheel. I was just scrubbing lap time all the time. But this is a gauge. Sector 1 for me is an absolute killer. I really am struggling to get through Sector 1 without losing about 6 to 7 tenths. Probably my best ever was probably like 4 or 5 tenths still against Luke's lap time. And then I'm quite happy through the rest of it. It's stuff I need to work on. He tends to change gear, especially here in the McLaren 720S. He's changing gear at about 7,400 RPM, as we can see. The Superwoman. I just, what can I say? I love women. I love images like this. I enjoy making them with the AI. AI for me is fantastic. I'm using it so much these days. It really is a great help. And again, even with sim racing, I've not tried using it in LMU as of yet, but I do enjoy using it for many other things throughout the day. But loading here into LMU, it does load pretty quickly. I've got to be honest, since doing the update, I must have had more crashes than I've ever had using the game, especially when you come to the end of the practice session and it reverts back to the menu. Literally every single time I have to reload the game right now, so there are issues with the stability within the game. And I am having problems. I think this is actually filmed with colour correction in OBS, so some of it I'm still not happy with how we're capturing in OBS. If you look back in the other portion of the video, this, I'm sure some of the footage that's in car, it's got a really dull sort of look to it. I really do need to figure out my OBS settings, the audio and everything. But I wanted to come on board because you see a lot of people doing these videos and they just use the replay footage. And I wanted to show you the actual in-game footage as it's captured and what is going on for me as a driver. I don't know if you see all the other cars. I've got like my brake discs are absolutely glowing as I drive to the grid. I'm keeping my foot a little bit on the brake pedal. You can see just down in the right hand side, you can see my delta. I've come off the brake pedal now because the brakes were getting nice and hot, but I want them nice and toasty hot into turn one. I want to know that I've got brake temperature in my brakes. So as we come to start over the start finish line, I'm just releasing that pit stop limiter as we come over the start finish line, and you can hear Coach Dave in the background. So much more detail. I love having it, and I've finally managed to pick up the correct audio cable so you can actually speak and have two-way conversation with your pit crew. I've not actually got the grasp of it just yet, what you can ask the pit crew and things, but I do find that as a really good adjustment, or an addition, should I say. I'd probably look at getting race lads as well, so I can get some on-screen telemetry while I'm driving, a different overlay perhaps. I don't really like the overlay that LMU offers you. A slight braking there issue, you can see I just flashing to apologise. You see the front bonnet slightly creased as well on the McLaren, so just knowing they've got a little bit of traffic alongside me. I really did think he would throw it up the inside here, but he was very, very fair and gave me the line into the turn. But the thing I wanted to come on to in this video is how I'm using the traction control and ABS and the brake balance and everything, because I see so many people running really low traction control, TC power cut, TC slip angles, and the ABS is all the way down, and I'm thinking like, I cannot handle the car in this state. One of the things that I'm finding, I'm running a belt driven wheel, the McLaren 2.5 wheelbase, the Club Sport wheelbase, a very old wheelbase now, but it still feels fantastic in many other games, including LMU, but it doesn't give me a sense of loss of grip in LMU. I really don't find that the loss of grip is very pronounced. So when you do get moments of understeer, oversteer, it just doesn't feel like there's that much difference. The sense of grip and no grip just isn't there for me, I don't think. So I really do struggle to run with those kind of setups where using low traction control. As you can see here, coming into turn one, I find if I come down on the ABS or down on the brake bias, coming into that corner, the rear of the car is so unstable. Which you can see here, I know exactly what he's done here. He's probably got a lower rear bias on the brake bias. He's just touched the brake pedal, coming in too hot, and you've just not got that control, and that's a race-ending incident. Lost the rear wing, he's definitely got to pit, and he's going to come plumb last, probably, unless someone else has an issue. So back on board then with myself in the replay here, and totally got caught out on this corner, coming into the tight sort of right-hander, and I'm looking for the board, the 400 board to the 300 board, and I should be braking a long way now, and I've missed the board altogether. So a good pointer is that across the circuit there are white lines to indicate where the 400, 300, 200, 100 are situated. As you can see, even on the approach to this one, we've got the 400 line, the 300 and the 200. Again, braking just before the 300 line for this particular corner. And then as you can see down in the bottom left corner, once we get through this next right-hander, I'll be adjusting the ABS figure because it does give it a little bit more rotation, 6/9. And I just want the car not to oversteer under the next high-speed corners, really. Coming through here again, I mean, this is early on in my Sebring education, I suppose. I'm just getting to grips with this, and I don't particularly even think I'm running Coach Dave at this point. So I have progressed, the lap times have progressed, and we'll look at them towards the end of this video. The last race that I took part in, again, which was another brilliant race. But coming through here again, the number of times I've ended up in this wall on the left hand side because the car's totally over rotated. And you can see how much I've caught this guy in the BMW just through that last corner, because he's just not probably got as much confidence as I have in the car, not understeering or oversteering more so. Turn one in the last corner, huge sections for me where the car really does oversteer quite a lot, but I want more over rotation in a lot of these slower speed corners. Through this corner as well, sector one really is my nemesis. I'm losing so much time in sector one to other drivers, and I really do need to work on sector one. I think I need to be looking at a 43.5, 43.8, something like that, but currently I don't even think I've got below maybe it's 46. I forget what the first sector is, but I'm in the wrong number at the moment. So just getting along there, I've got a really good exit out the corner. And visually, this is really not what I'm looking at. It's very hard to capture the content at, I'm running this at 2K and I'm capturing in 2K, but visually this just isn't a representation of how good this looks on my gaming PC. It really doesn't. I am running an AMD 9800 X3D CPU along with the RTX 5090, the Astral, which is it's a water-cooled card, AIO. So I've definitely got so much horsepower in this PC, but to be able to capture it, I'm just having issues with OBS, I think, at the moment. Just trying to find how to capture it, how to edit it in Filmora, just to be able to deliver the best visuals to show you exactly what I'm seeing right now. But this really isn't a great representation. You can see all the haze from the sun and everything. It really is beautiful, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting the VR headset when that arrives. Hopefully later this month. But possibly into September. But I am loving the game, but I did go back to Assetto Corsa Competizione just the other day and instantly running top of the leaderboard. I don't know whether it's just the competition within LMU is much better, or whether my wheel just isn't suited to give me the most detailed feedback for the game itself. You can see here just getting rid of the rest of the hood. This is generally what I do during a race, because once you've got through the first section, really, I don't really need to see how everybody else is doing. The most important thing for me is to focus on getting my lap times nailed, hitting my braking points, getting the car accelerated off the corner, and again, consistency here. This is another guy spinning out, maybe because he's running a higher traction control. Which brings me on to look at the traction control settings I was running there, 6, 8 and 2. And for me, I'll set the traction control at what I can manage coming out of the corner, where I'm not losing the rear of the car. And the slip angle for me, or the cut number for me, is the most important. If I'm starting to spin the wheels up, I want the engine to cut. It doesn't matter if it's limiting my lap time, it's stopping incidents like that. So for me, really important, use that TC cut to get it to where you feel comfortable in putting the power down, and it's not race ending situations. So coming across the line there, taking P1, my first win at Sebring, very happy with that I was. And just the camaraderie I think within this game, people flashing you, great race, good race. I've had some really good races at Sebring. As much as a lot of the guys driving the Lamborghinis are topping the charts, it is nice to come across another guy in the Mustang the other day. We had a cracking race. But just finishing out looking at Coach Dave, if we come back to the last race that I did, I'm sure I qualified 3rd in this race and ended up coming 2nd. But it was a fantastic race, and as you can see there, very consistent 203s down to 203.1s, 203.0s, almost into the 202s, but not quite during that session. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. I've definitely dived deeper into Coach Dave Delta in some forthcoming videos and look at other parts of LNU. But thanks for coming back to the channel, thanks for watching once again. As always, until next time, ciao for now.